Today, we're going to be talking about atime, ctime, and utime. If you want to find out what that is, stay tuned. So the first one that we want to talk about is change time, what this is. So change time, or ctime, is also known as change time, represents the time when the file's metadata was last modified. The metadata includes file permissions, ownership, file type, etc. Actions like modifying file permissions, changing the owner, or renaming the file will update ctime. Creating or deleting a file also updates ctime. Example, I can show you a command when we run ctime like ls-lc or ls-lc file name. Because if I'm in my path, I can just run it without the file name. And then we got the mtime. So this is the modification time. So this is by default when you do ls-l. So it indicates the last time that the file content was last modified. When the file's content is altered or overwritten, mtime is updated. This timestamp is modified by operations that change the file's content, such as editing the file's content, appending new data, or saving changes to the file. The last one is atime. This is access time, represents the last time the file was accessed or read. So any operation that reads the file, like displaying the contents, like cat command, executing it, or copying it. Note that updating the atime can cause unnecessary disk writes, so some systems may choose to disable and optimize atime updates for performance reasons. All right. So now I'm going to show you the three commands. So if I do ls-l on output.txt, ls-lu on output.txt, and if I do ls-lc, okay. So as you can see, all of these, so the change time and the modified time will update. Like if it's modified, it'll show you the change time. But as you can see here, there's different timestamps. As you can see here, the LU is at 11:16 and these two is at 11:19. So as we can see, the access time, right? So what we can do now is do cat on output.txt. And if I do that and we check the actual access time on this, we can do ls-lu. And then what we can do is onput.txt. And if we do that, as you can see now, the time has been updated. All right? Just because I looked at the contents inside of it. And if I do the other ones, so we can just go over each one. And if I go over the last one, just L by itself, as you can see, the time still hasn't been updated because remember, the LU is for the access time. Now what we want to do is a change time. So any metadata that's changed about it. So what we can do is do change mod. We can do 766 and we can do it on output.txt. And if we do that, if we do ls-ctime, as you can see, it's been updated. Anytime that the actual file's metadata has been updated, it will show you that. We're going to do all three so we can see how it looks like. And then we can just do -L. As you can see, all the times are updated. And the last one is the modified time, which is by default. So if I do echo, hello, and I put in output.txt, and now if I do ls-l output.txt, that field should be updated now too. As you can see, it's updated. Now if we do all three, LU, and then we got LC. Cool. So as you can see, all of them have been updated. So as you can see, one of these two, they update at the same time, like the modified time and the change time. They modify at the same time, looks like. Unless it did around the same time. But I know one of these two will change at the same time, depending on what you change. So if you modify the contents inside of it, for example, that will update the other time also. And we can test that also. I can try again to do the echo. We'll do echo 1. And then we'll try to check all three of them. We can see LC has been updated, which is the change time. And let's check the modified time. As you can see, it updates with it. So anytime you change anything in the file, it also updates the modification time. So they're both linked together. But when you if you look at the access time, it's not going to change the modified time. So, all right. And that's pretty much today's lesson.